Welcome children. Unit 3, Chapter 8, Stock Exchange Board of India, Video 2. Already in last video we saw the meaning, objectives, features of SEBI in last video. Today we are going to learn the powers of SEBI. Powers, what are the powers? Powers relating to stock exchange and intermediators. Power to impose monetary penalties. Power to initiate actions in function assigned. Power to regulate insider trading. Power under Security Contract Act. Power to regulate business of stock exchange. SEBI is set up to control over the stock exchange activities. Okay, for that only it was set up in 1988. SEBI was set up in the year 1992, but it was established in 1998 by Indian Government Act. They give a statutory power in 1992. They give a statutory power in 1992. So, what are the powers of SEBI? Power relating to stock exchange. First one is power relating to stock exchange and intermediary. SEBI has a wider range of power regarding stock exchange and intermediary. They have power to ask business any information from the stock exchange and intermediary relating to the business transaction. Okay, whenever they need information from the stock exchange intermediary, they can ask, and they regarding the bank business transaction, and they sometimes they inspect the accounts and other things, then scrutiny and other purpose also. If needed, they will examine the business transaction in stock exchange and intermediary. That is the first power of SEBI. Second one is power to impose monetary penalties. SEBI has empowered to impose monetary penalties on capital market intermediary and other participants for range of violation. If they violate any, because they must be, the stock exchange must be follow the rules and regulation whatever designed by the SEBI. So sometimes the intermediator or any members of stock exchange and the intermediate, if they not follow the rules and regulation, then the SEBI has power to monitor the penalties. Okay, it can even impose suspension also of their registration for short periods. They can suspend the registration for short period also. So these are all some powers SEBI has. Okay, other power, next power is power to initiate action in function assigned. SEBI has to power initiate action in regard to function assigned. For example, can issue guidelines to different intermediaries or can introduce specific rules for the protection of interest of the investor. Power to initiate the action. Whenever they need, they have to initiate the action. Even sometimes they can issue the guidelines, different guidelines. Whenever they want to change, they can change the guidelines, and they can issue this guidelines to the stock exchange and intermediary. Okay, sometimes they have to introduce special rules and regulations also. Whenever they need, they can introduce a special rules and regulations also. That power SEBI has. Then next power to regulate insider trading. SEBI has a power to regulate insider trading, can regulate the functions of merchant banker also. Through the merchant banker only, the companies are issuing the shares and debenture. Okay, the SEBI has a regulate to insider. They are right to regulate the insider trading and insider trading and regulate the functions of merchant banker also. Various merchant banker are there. So the SEBI has power to regulate the merchant banker also. Then power to under Security Contract Act. For effective regulation of stock exchange, the Ministry of Finance issued notification on 13 September 1994, delegating several of its power under the Security Contract Act to SEBI. Ministry of Finance issued notification on 30th September 1994. They issued the 1994 Ministry of Finance issued the notification, delegation several of its power. So some other powers they are given to the SEBI through the Security Contract Regulation Act. Okay, SEBI is also empowered by the finance minister to nominate 3 members of the governing body for every stock exchange. So through because these SEBI is set up through the parliament, they has to create a separate act. Through that only the SEBI is created. SEBI is created because of to control over the stock exchange. So finance minister nominate 3 member of governing body of every stock exchange to empower SEBI. Okay, so these are all some powers. And another power, last but not least, power to regulate business of stock exchange. SEBI is also empowered to regulate the business of stock exchange, intermediated or associate with the security market, as well as the mutual fund, fraudulent and unfair trade practice relating to the securities, and regulating acquisition of shares take over the company. Power to regulate the business of stock exchange. SEBI is also empowered to regulate the business of stock exchange. Various intermediators is involving. So healthy speculations also allowed in a stock exchange. So many intermediators associated with the stock market. So like a mutual fund and other things. Okay, so fraudulent and unfair trade happening in it chance to happening in the stock exchange. In order to protect all these things, SEBI has power to regulate the business of stock exchange. So this is a power. So first one is relating to stock exchange and intermediator. Whenever the SEBI want information from the stock exchange, they can collect the information from the stock exchange as well as the intermediator. Okay, whenever they ask the information, this information, business information, definitely stock exchange other intermediate ready to give this information to SEBI. Then power to impose monetary penalties. If they SEBI has empowered to impose the monetary penalty if they violate the agreement, if they violate any rules and regulation, then SEBI has right to penalty, or sometimes they can impose the suspension also. They can cancel the registration of a short period also. Then third power to initiate association action in functions assigned. SEBI has power to initiate actions regarding whatever the functions assigned. Sometimes they can issue the guidelines also. Sometimes they issue the special rules and regulations also. Whatever the special rules and regulations they have assigned, this will be imposed by SEBI. Then power to regulate insider trading. SEBI has a power to regulate the insider trading and intermediator. Then power to under Security Contract Act. So under Security Contract Act, some more powers they are given to SEBI through the finance minister, Minister of Finance. Then Ministry of Finance nominated 3 member governing body for every stock exchange to empower the SEBI. Then third power to regulate business of stock exchange, to empower regulators business of stock exchange. Many intermediators are associated with the stock market. So in order to control all the intermediators, so fraudulent and unfair trade practice are relating in the securities and relating regulation of acquisition of shares and take over the company. So in order to control all these things, they have a power to regulate the business of stock exchange to avoid the fraudulent and unfair trade. Okay, these are all some powers of SEBI. Next, we are going to see the dematerialization, DMAT. Okay, dematerialization. What is the dematerialization? Dematerialization, DMAT. Dematerialization is the process through which physical shares and securities are converted into electronical format. Physical securities, physical shares and securities are converted into electronical format. Physical securities in the sense when a company, when you buy the share, the company issue the share certificate to the investor. Those, for example, I purchase a share in Reliance company. Okay, I purchase a shares in Reliance company. After I purchase a Reliance share, the Reliance share gives a certificate to me. Okay, this is evident I have purchased shares in Reliance company, so that the share certificate they can issue. Okay, so that certificate is in a paper format. Okay, that is called a physical share certificate. Okay, these physical shares and securities are converted into electronical format. So not in physical format, not in paper format. Okay, so these things are converted into electronical format, so that if a trader or investor want to dematerialize his physical securities such as share certificate, government securities, bond, mutual fund unit and other document, he need to have a demat account. For if they want to dematerialize their physical shares into electronical format, for even government securities, bond, mutual fund, share certificate, okay, and other documents also, he need to have a demat account. The person need to have a demat account. Okay, once the demat account is open, the trader or investor surrender his physical shares and return get electronical share. Once if you open a demat account, okay, demat account, your physical shares and debentures are surrendered to that depository participant. Okay, so you must be return your physical shares and debenture to the security depository participant. Okay, they converted your shares and debenture into electronical format. This is called a dematerialization. Dematerialization means we have to destroy the physical share certificate into electronical format. That is called a dematerialization. Okay, a demat account has to be opened with the depository participant who is responsible for holding and maintain shares and securities of the investor in the electronical format. Demat account. So demat account I will explain in next after this. So demat account has to be opened with the depository participant who is responsible for holding and maintaining shares and securities of the investor in electronical format. So for example, I am the investor. Okay, so I want to convert my share certificate into electronical format. Okay, for that I have opened a demat account. Okay, demat account I have opened. So where I have to open in the sense, the depository participant is there. Okay, so I have to go and approach the depository participant. They help me to open a demat account. Once I open a demat account, the participant, okay, who responds and holding my shares and debenture, okay, in electronical format, that person is called a depository participant. Okay, to understand the simple word, you can convince the depository participant like a bank. Okay, for securities, just like a bank dealing and handling funds. How can you deposit money in a bank? Okay, so the banker, for example, if you for that you must need a bank account. First you must open a bank account. After open a bank account, you have to deposit some amount in the bank. Okay, they have to maintain through the bank. You have to if you want to withdraw money, you can withdraw anytime. If you want to deposit any amount, you can deposit anytime. Likewise, okay, the bank for securities. Okay, this is for only securities and bonds, shares and debenture. Okay, just like a bank dealing in handling funds, depository dealing in handling securities of the trader and either other investor also. In India, there are 2 depository registered with SBI, SEBI. So 2 depository registers there with SEBI under control of SEBI. SEBI has given a license to operate the depository holders. That one is National Security Depository Limited and Central Depository Limited. These are all the depository participant. Okay, through them only we have to open a demat account. Through that only we have to convert a physical share into electronical format. Okay, so after why dematerialization come into existence, in the sense, before the concept of dematerialization was introduced, trading in shares and securities were lot of hassles. Okay, trader and investor used to hold the share certificate in the physical format, which was not only inconvenient but also risky. So there was a risk like a theft, robbery, damage. Okay, so, and many other also physical paperwork involved error and unforeseen mischiefs in the past. Okay, So in previous, before introducing the dematerialization, many disadvantages there. Trader and investor, they used to hold the shares certificate in the physical format. What is the physical format? In paper format. So there is a very risky thing, because there is a risk involved in theft, robbery, damage. So if for example, if damage in the sense, because so many paper procedure is there, after you are getting again, if you want share certificate, in the sense, so many procedure you must be follow. So theft, robbery, damage, so these are all some, even physical paperwork also very high in those period. Okay, so if it is in electronical format, it is very easily carry. So compared to paper physical share certificate, compared to electronical format, so it is very safe thing. Okay, moreover, share certificate transfer was also major concern, and it's used to make a month to transfer the certificate. It's not easy to immediately to share the certificate, transfer your certificate also. So the concept of dematerialization was introduced in the Indian financial market to avoid all these things. Okay, dematerialization eliminate all the above mentioned issues, and allowing the trader and investor to convert the physical certificate into electronical format. So simply, dematerialization is your physical certificate, share certificates are converted into electronical format. That is a dematerialization. Okay, so for that you must be if you open a bank account, that means demat account, so you must be submit your physical certificate into that participant. They destroy that share certificate, and they can equivalent number of share securities are converted into electronical format. Okay, so if you purchase made, investors are credited to his account. If you sell securities are debited. Okay, so this is a dematerialization. Then benefit of dematerialization. What are the benefit of dematerialization? Okay, for the risk threatening a physical certificate like loss, theft, damage are eliminated completely with the demat account. Okay, the lack of paperwork, quicker transaction, and high efficiency trading. So lack of paperwork, I already told you. If you are before introduce the demat account, dematerialization, if you want to purchase or sell your share, there is a paperwork, lot of paperwork is there. So you must be spend a huge time and huge amount for paperwork, and it's very difficult also. If it is in electronical format, you can avoid the paperwork, and you can quickly transfer, and high efficiency trading is possible in dematerialization. Then trading has been more convenient, as one can trade through the computer at any location without the need to visiting a broker. So if it is electronical format, in the sense, anytime, anywhere, we have to access this securities and bonds through the electronical format. Okay, so even you can avoid to visit the place for meeting the broker and other intermediator. That is one of the benefit. And the share that are created through the merger and consolidation of companies are credited automatically in the demat account. The shares are created through the mergers and consolidation. Okay, so that the company are credited automatically, immediately. For example, if you want to purchase your shares, in the sense, the shares easily merge and consolidation to the company, and immediately they can credit automatically with the demat account. Okay, automatic update they are given in dematerialization. Then, as all the transaction occurred through the depository participant, the trader do not have a communicate individually with each and every company. So everything the dematerialization, everything they can, the depository participant take care everything. Okay, so you don't have any other work. They can communicate all the people. So you don't need to communicate individual to each and everyone. Okay, so all these things they can take over. The depository participant, they can take over all these things. So you can your job is your work. Your working time will reduce. Okay, then there is no need for stamp duty for transfer of securities This bring down the cost of transaction significantly. There is no need for stamp duty. So if it is a paper work, a physical certificate, there is a need of stamp duty. You must be duly stamped in your share certificate. Okay, so if it is an electronical format, there is no need for stamp duty for transfer of security. This bring down the cost of transaction significantly. The cost of transaction also very less, because if you want to stamp your duty stamp for your share certificate while transfer your security, the cost is very high. Okay, so there is no need for stamp in case of electronical format, so that the cost of transaction significantly will reduce. Then certain bank also permit holding for both equity and debt securities in single account. Some participants, some secure, that mean some depository participant, they can allow both the securities and bond. Shares and bonds are different type. Okay, some securities, the participant, they can allow in even single account. You have to maintain both equity as well as the debt account. That means you can maintain shares as well as debt in single account. Okay, that some bankers, they can allow. Bank also provide a dedicated and trained customer care officer to assist through all the procedure. So banker also provide dedicated and trained customer care service. Anytime you can approach the customer care officers, they can assist you through the procedures also. If you have any doubt, they can approach the customer care officer, then they will assist you for all the procedure. Then a demat account holder can buy or sell any amount of shares. However, there is a limit on the number of transactions than using physical security. If it is a physical security, there is a restriction for hold or buying or selling shares. Limited shares only you can buying and selling through the physical existence. But in case of demat account holder, they can buy or sell any number of amount of shares and debenture. There is no limit in the electronical format. Okay, then one can also choose to take a loan against securities which held in demat account by offering the collateral to the lender also. So you can use this collateral for security in bank also. Okay, so these are all some benefit of dematerialization. These are all some benefit of dematerialization, because risk is, you can avoid the risk from theft, damage. Then higher efficiency, quick transaction. Anytime, immediately you can quick transaction, high efficiency is there. Then very convenient trade. Any location you have to access through the dematerialization account through the electronic format. Then created automatically demat account. You can create through the merger and consolidation through the demat account automatically. Then transaction very fast. So you cannot meet each and every individual every time. So on behalf of you, the participant take over all the thing. Then there is no need for stamp duty. If it is a physical existence, then you have to pay the huge amount of cash for stamp duty. So this should be avoided in the dematerialization. Then banker also permit holding both securities and debenture on the same single account, and also provide customers care service of care service also. And limit, there is no limit for shares buying and selling of shares in a dematerialization account. So these are all some benefit of dematerialization. Then depository participant. Who is a depository participant? Depository participant is the agent of the depository. There are intermediated between the depository and the investor. Okay, the relationship between depository participant and the depository is governed by the agreement made between two under the Depository Act. I already told you, it's like a bank. How we can invested amount in a bank. Okay, depository amount invested in. Likewise, depository participant is like a banker. Okay, they can we are the investor. Okay, we instead of we invest in bank, we have to invest money, but dematerialization in the sense here we have to deposit our shares and debenture. Okay, that is the only difference between bank and depository participant. Okay, the strictly legal sense, DP is entity who is registered as such as SEBI under the provision of SEBI Act. Under the provision of SEBI Act, depository participants are registered. Okay, as per the provision of this act, depository participant can offer depository related service, any other obligation, certificate and registration, everything. So SEBI, under the control of SEBI only the depository participants are working. Okay, then demat account. What is a demat account? Okay, demat account holds all the shares that are purchased in electronical or dematerialized format. Demat account, like a bank account, how we open a bank account, likewise we have to open a demat account. So how we open a bank account in bank? Okay, bankers are dealing with money. Okay, for example, NEFT, National Electronical Fund Transfer, that means national level we have to transfer a fund to the electronical mode. Okay, likewise this is a even security, government securities, bonds, shares, debenture, these are all the things we can exchange. Trade fund, that means electronical trade fund, ETF, electronical trade fund. Okay, here all the securities and bonds are traded through the demat account. Okay, likewise you have to open a, how we can open a bank account, like this you have to open a bank demat account. Okay, they hold all the shares that are purchased in electronically or dematerialized form. Basically demat account is to share what a bank account is money, like that bank account, demat account hold certificate to financial instrument. So it is related to the demat account is related to the financial instrument like shares, bond, government security, mutual fund. Okay, and exchange trade fund, they can exchange trade fund. Here they buying and selling of securities. How we deposit amount? For example, in bank, if you are giving a standing instruction on behalf of the customer, they pay the insurance premium, and likewise they can collect some interest from the customers and other things. Okay, likewise the demat account like a bank account. Okay, in bank account we have to deposit money, so it related to the money transaction, fund transfer, money transfer. But in case of demat account, here we can dealing with the shares and debenture, mutual fund, other government securities through the electronical format. Okay, that is the difference between bank account and demat account. Next, demat account. How can we are going to open a demat account? How to open a demat account? For that, first you must be fill up opening form and submit along with a copy of to the required document, passport size photography. So whatever the document record, you must be submit along with the application. You also need to have a PAN card, permanent account number. So that also very needed. Also carry a original document for verification. Whatever the document they ask, you must be submit the original document, not a photocopy. So first you must be fill the form, like how we can you open a bank account. If you want to open a bank account, first you must be fill all the paperwork. Okay, first you must be fill the form, you must be submit along with the whatever the document they can ask, you must be proceed along with the application form. Likewise you have to fill a account opening form, submit along with the copies of required document, passport size photography, and also PAN card, PAN number, and carry original document. And then you will be provided with a copy of the rules and regulation, the terms of the agreement, and the charge that you will be incurred. So they are not freely doing this. For that, definitely they will collect some service money. So you will be provide the copy of rules and regulation. They will provide a rules and regulation. The depository participant, they give a rules and regulation copy to you. Okay, the terms of agreement and the charges, how much they are going to be charged, that will be written in that document. Then during the process, an in-person verification would be carried out. A member of the depository staff would contact you to check the detail provided in the account opening form. So you must be present. In present, you must be go and verify your paperwork. Okay. So during the processing time, you must be in present. So in person, you must be verify all the document whatever they ask. Okay, whatever the depository participant would ask and contact you in person. Okay, they can contact you in person and check all the detail whatever you provide during the application. Okay, then when the application is processed, the depository participant will provide you with the account number or client ID. So they give a account number, or after application is proceed, after they verify all your details and all your paper agreement, all your original document, after verification all these things, they will provide a account number or identification number. You can use this detail to the access your Demat account online. Okay, like definitely if you access your internet banking, definitely they give a password and username. Likewise, they after finishing all the verification, they will give a personal identification number or the account number. So through that you can access your Demat account. As a Demat account holder, you would need to pay some fees like annual maintenance fee, leave for maintenance of account, and transaction for leave for debiting securities and from the account of monthly basis. So after that you must be pay the fees also. Okay, some fees you may given like bank definitely yearly charges they will charge you. Even for a debit card or credit card, if you are using a debit card or credit card, if you withdraw money more than the time period, time interval, they will charge a service fees. Likewise, in Demat account also they will collect some annual maintenance. So some fees they are collected from the participant. These fees differ from every service provider called as depository participant. This fees may differ from person to person. While DP charge a flat fee per transaction. In addition, the other fees, depository participants also charge fees of converting the shares from the physical to electronical form, vice versa. So during your share certificates are converted into electronical format, that time also they will charge some fees. So definitely, if you want to open a Demat account, you must be pay so many service fees. Okay, then minimum shares. A Demat account can be opened with a no balance of shares. It also does not require that minimum balance be maintained. But in case of bank account, you must be open your bank account with a minimum amount. Okay, minimum at least 250 you must be deposited, or 500 you must be deposited. Likewise, you must be maintain the minimum amount. Minimum account balance you must be maintained in bank, but in Demat account can be opened with no balance. Okay, nil balance you can open your shares. It also not require that minimum balance maintained. Okay, they are not required to maintain a minimum balance also. What are the document required for Demat account? What are the document required for Demat account? You need to submit proof of identity, address along with the passport size photograph, and the account opening form. Only photocopies to the document required for submission, but originals are required for verification. I already told you, during the process, in-person verification is there. In-person verification means you must be presented in person. Okay, to the depository staff would contact you. Okay, whenever they contact you, you must be present in person. Okay, so during that time you must be submit the proof of identity and address proof along with the passport size photography and other things. Original copy you must be provide during the verification time. Okay, so these are all the things required. Here is some format, Demat format application they are given in your book. You have to go through that, and you can specimen copy they are given here. So these are all the. So this is a Demat account. Successfully we finish our chapter 8. So learn what is meaning of SEBI, objective of SEBI, features of SEBI. Today we learn powers of SEBI and dematerialization, benefit of dematerialization, and how to open a Demat account. What are the proof is needed for open up Demat account? All these things we learn in this video. So learn all these things, children. If you have any doubt, you must ask me. I will clear your doubt in Demat account and other things. So successfully we finish our chapter 8. Learn all these things. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Thank you.